Mr. Chairman, the Consul General, the Planning Committee, bishops, elders, archbishops, members of the clergy, distinguished brothers and sisters here gathered. Let me pause. Let me just pause a moment to recognize that today we stand on the shoulders of great men and women that fought, ostracized, alienated, prohibited. Some were misused, abused, to preserve the legacy that our founding fathers created. Today, allow me to just mention a few. If I would but mention Archbishop Elton Griffith, Mother Maga, Archbishop Harvey Glood, Benny Jones, just to name a few. They would have struggled to keep this work alive. And so today I want to briefly point a couple instances that point to the significance of today. The Consul General was very right, and I'm happy to have heard it, because many times it has not been said, but it took the bravery of the then UNC government under the then Prime Minister Basdio Pandey to establish a public holiday for the spiritual baptism. And why it is significant? Because we felt that we were connected to one kind of people. However, it was not forthcoming. Even the government of the NAR only attempted but was able to fulfill the promise. However, the promise came, and we are so glad. Before 1917, the spiritual Baptists did what they want, and in St. Vincent in particular, a group of Baptists got to a junction to keep what we call an open-air meeting. And the governor was on his horse nearby when a Baptist man at the top of his voice started to sing and ring the bell. Well, of course, the horse got scared, galloped, the governor was on the ground, and Baptist was prohibited from practicing our faith throughout the Caribbean from that day forward. And so you know that they locked us up, they beat us. Leader Hercules from Roxborough in Tobago in particular died in prison because we could not practice our religion as they see it. As a matter of fact, they force us to sing a song, the Eurocentric religion that sought to convert us and ask us to give up the Afrocentric position that we've adopted. They force us to sing a song, Thy kingdom come, O God, Thy rule, O Christ, begun. Break with an iron rod the tyranny of sin. And because they saw our way of worship as being pagan, heathenistic, they particularly force us to sing, O heathen lands afar, sing, darkness brooded yet, arise, O morning star, arise and never set. However, our resilience were intact. Our vision was clear, and we fought. We fought because we understood that there was a rhythm, there was a spirit, there was a connection to our God. I say our God, that they were taking away from us. They forced us, those of us that came out of the Aladura group of people, and those that came out of the Yaruba And so the Yoruba emerged what is called in Trinidad Shango or Orisha, which is really, the better name is Ife religion. And the spiritual Baptist, the shouter. In St. Vincent, when they dropped the slaves on the way, mark you by the way, I must say quickly, when they brought us to the Caribbean, the East Indian was on board with us. They came as indentured laborers, we came as slaves. They brought their lota and their taria. Well, of course, you see, we worship with it now. And because of the long voyage, you can hardly recognize the difference between the spiritual Baptist and some Hindu practice. Because we've spent enormous time on the ship. Are you there with me? Yes. And so, we came to Trinidad. They dropped some of us in St. Vincent and we practice what is called today shouter or converted. They dropped some of us in Jamaica and we emerged Nyabingi, Kumina, Revival, Pocomania, some been into Grenada, and we practiced Salaka or Saraka. And those that came to Trinidad, and remember Trinidad is a unique place, very unique place. So those that they drop in Belmont were sophisticated. Those that they drop in 1, 2, first company, third company, fifth company, Caledonia, Mount Diablo, Rio Claro out there, Panpuna, in those areas, they practice what has emerged today as Shango. And those others that were in the more comfortable plains of the Diego Martins and the rail into San Fernando and Coquille, and so they emerge into what is called spiritual baptism. And that's why there's always concern when we speak to always say spiritual Baptist shouter faith, because they're spiritual Baptists and they're shouter. We labored hard. There was a struggle. We attempted to divide the lines between the spiritual Baptist and the Shango. In those days, those well-established religious practitioners will slip by the night and go over to the Shango tent. And when the Baptist man recognized that there was something, when the spiritual Baptist shouter recognized that there was something important taking place, and we started to go over, they made another religion. They called that one Shango Baptist. To fit Baptist going into Shango. However, this struggle would mean nothing if we just open a school tomorrow. The Prime Minister is doing that. An elementary school for the spiritual Baptists. I would want to say it, I like to say those things straight. The land given by government, material and labor provided by this government, and the school, the elementary school, will be open tomorrow. A piece of land, a school is very important. It's very important. But if there is no sense of unification and structure of this Afrocentric indigenous religion to Trinidad and Tobago, to be able to ask for a couple of things. One, call upon the government of Trinidad and Tobago to understand that we are the only religion that was developed, nurtured, and established in Trinidad and Tobago. And long are the days of independence when the Catholic reigned. And then the Anglican. Then it's time to give consideration that we be declared the national religion of Trinidad and Tobago. We are the only indigenous. There's no competition. Secondly, those of us that live here holiday must be seen as a tourism opportunity. It must be seen in the context that pilgrimages must be promoted to the Mecca, Trinidad and Tobago. The place, the place where the energy resides. The place where the concept came from. Come on, let me tell you something. You could mourn, you could shout in America. It is not like doing it on the motherland. And so, the second, third, and fourth generation of spiritual Baptists that have been baptized here in America, spend years in the faith here in America. I think we rob them, we owe them a debt to take them home. Take them home. Let them go to Pfizer and see where Uriah Butler used a fake church as a liberation place for the labor movement. Let them go deep into Togo. Let them go at Madamaga's church over Jumbie Bridge. And see where Eric William went in the night to taste of the church. Come on, let me stop right there. I hope that we understand that this thing is important. I would want to congratulate the Consul General. I think it's a very bold and profound step. I hope God will richly bless you and your staff. I hope that as you go forward, Trinidad and Tobago will continue to be great. Long live the government and people of Trinidad and Tobago. Long live the spiritual Baptist shout of faith and our brother existing faith, the Orisha. And to the Orishas, saints, martyrs, and prophets, God bless you.